Welcome to another episode of Ask Minister Yo. So today we're in week 3 of our communication series entitled The 4 Toxic Communication Styles. So in week 1, we talked about criticism. In week 2, we talked about contempt. This week, week 3, we're going to discuss defensiveness. Turn to your neighbor and say, defensiveness. Are you defensive? Okay, we gonna see. So defensiveness is you defending yourself. Most of the time, you defending yourself because someone is criticizing you. So it's a defense mechanism if you're being criticized by a boss, a coworker, a friend, but more than likely it's someone you're in a close relationship with, because you kind of have to have kahunas to walk around criticizing strangers. So most of the time we criticize people we're in relationship with. So defensiveness is a way to make an excuse about a behavior, or to avoid responsibility of something that you did wrong, and trying to justify. So I'm defensive because you found out I broke your favorite glass. So now I'm defensive and say, well, I'm short and I couldn't reach all the way up to the top shelf anyway. So I'm trying to justify that I broke your glass. And what I should be doing is saying, I'm sorry. I should have told you and not let you find out about it. See, that's defensiveness. Defensiveness, I'm taking care of me. Taking care of myself at your expense. I'm protecting myself. And it's my way of saying, the problem's not me. The problem is you. See, it's your fault I broke your glass. Because if you hadn't put it on the top shelf when I was trying to get it down to fix you something to drink, I wouldn't have broke it. I'm short. Now that I broke the glass, I turned the whole situation around and now it's his fault. That's defensiveness. That's toxic. That's like a serial killer telling his victim, it's your fault I kidnapped you. It's your fault I gotta cut off all your toes. Wait, what? Exactly. That's defensiveness. More often than not, though, it's a response to being criticized. Or it's someone that's caught and they passive aggressive and they're trying to avoid conflict. So they'll come up with something to get the fault off of them. So what's the solution to defensiveness? Because we all have been in a situation where we felt like we should defend ourselves. The solution is to take responsibility if you're at fault. It's for me to say in our scenario, hey honey, you know that glass that you had since college? The mug with the handle? I broke it. I broke it by accident the other day. And I want to tell you before you go looking for it and can't find it. Please forgive me. I know it's over 20 years old and it'll be really hard to replace, but can I try to look on Amazon and find you one just like it? Would you please forgive me? See, that's me taking responsibility for breaking his favorite glass. Now, defensiveness would be like, it's your fault that glass broke. Because I told you, do not put that glass on the top shelf because I couldn't reach it because I'm short. But no, because you tall, you want to put it up there anyway. So it's your fault your little glass broke. So you just go and get out of my face with that. Just go and get out of my face with that. It's your fault. It's your fault, boo. That's defensiveness. That's toxic. You're at fault. but now you done turned the whole thing around on somebody else. That's not the behavior that we need to do. And that is definitely not an example that you want to set for your children. So, yes, criticism is not right, but defensiveness is not right either. So two wrongs don't make a right. So you have to respond correctly, even if the person is coming at you out the bag. You have to choose to be the mature one and respond well for the sake of your marriage, for the sake of your children are watching how you relate to your spouse, because that's how they're going to end up relating to their spouse. Because even though you may not be, quote, teaching them how to communicate, they are learning by watching what you do. So it's important that we respond by accepting responsibility, number one, and number two, that we try to look at things from our spouse's point of view instead of trying to find a way to justify why we did what we did. Let's try to look at it from the other person's point of view and look at how they would be feeling if we were in their shoes. And if we take time to put ourselves in our spouse's shoes, had he broke your favorite coffee cup that your grandmother gave you 20 years ago before she passed, you would be all out the bag. And so take that in consideration, how you would have felt if the role was reversed. And that should help you in your response to be less defensive. That's my best shot. I pray it helped you. Hop over to my YouTube channel at Coach Yolanda B if you're interested in catching up with week 1 where we talked about criticism and week 2 where we talked about contempt. Until next time, go in God.